Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here, and today I want to talk about Armored Core. More specifically, Armored Core 6, I guess, or whatever they decide to inevitably call it. Essentially, there have been some leaks, some rumors surrounding the next installment in the Armored Core franchise, which is a game or a series, should I say, that we have not seen for quite some time. In fact, the last time we got to play an Armored Core was 2013 Armored Core Verdict Day for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, which incidentally was the only Armored Core I've played. So while I might not be an Armored Core veteran, I do like my mechs, whether that be mech anime, whether that be mech model kits, and whether that be mech video games. So I am still excited about the concept of this because, of course, FromSoftware are the developer of Armored Core. Typically these days, when you say FromSoftware, you of course associate them with Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and of course upcoming Elden Ring. But prior to that, FromSoftware used to be known primarily for their work on the Armored Core series. It was a mech action franchise that saw multiple releases per year on typically PlayStation platforms. But again, we haven't seen one of them in quite a while. But the rumors, the leaks, suggestions do now point to a new installment, which admittedly we don't have a date for right now, but the fact is, it is in the works. So today, I want to talk about what we currently know and all the associated details. So if you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Let me know in the comments down below, are you Armored Core fans? Have you been playing since the beginning? What would you like to see in a new Armored Core game? And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does really help us out and give us an idea as to the stuff that you guys are enjoying and want to see more of on this channel. But anyway, let's start. How did this all come about? Well, recently, it seems that FromSoftware have been sending out surveys and showing participants not only little screenshots, but also actual gameplay footage with Souls-like bosses in Armored Core. This came from a Reset Era post where user Red Licorice basically said that they had just completed the survey. I will not be linking the screenshots in this video because I don't want the internet police to come after me, but safe to say, in those screenshots, there were lots of cool looking mechs. They were heavily watermarked, so you can't really see things too clearly. However, there was also sort of a top level synopsis, which gives us a feel for the game. Firstly, when setting the scene, talking about the sort of narrative for it, it mentions that melange is this sort of unknown substance that could dramatically advance human society. In the past, this substance caused a cosmic catastrophe on planet Bashtar that engulfed the surrounding star systems, and eventually its very existence was lost. Decades later, the melange reaction was confirmed again on planet Bashtar. In search of the unknown substance that should have been lost, various speculations begin to swirl, various parties are getting involved, the government, corporations, cultists, and unknown mercenaries, and the protagonist is one of them. Of course, the game itself is a third-person shooter. It's a mecha action title that lets you move around an overwhelmingly scaled map that represents a unique sci-fi world with dynamic mech action. They say you'll face strong enemies and fierce battles, both long and short, using guns and blades. Of course, the sci-fi world is created by none other than Hidetaki Miyazaki, who of course you will know from many of the FromSoftware titles. And they said that their unique and deep sci-fi worldview has a sort of multi-layered story, again set on the planet Bashtar, a sci-fi world devastated by a planet-wide disaster. The description then goes on to say a vast field that represents a multi-layered world. In a massive and three-dimensional map, you can feel the scale of the mecha universe. A wide variety of maps offer an array of challenging enemies and carefully crafted situations that are worth taking on time and time again. They then say feel the tension in long and short range battles. The game offers not only long range combat with guns, but also short range combat elements such as blades and shields that add a sense of urgency to gameplay, so you can decide between offensive and defensive tactics during tense and challenging battles against powerful enemies. The game's dynamic three-dimensional movement is something no human can imitate. You can move freely around the vast map with the unique mobility of a mech. And they also said there is a high degree of customization, high degree of freedom in customization. You can reconfigure body parts and weapons in order to upgrade your mech. And with a high level of customization, you can build a mech to suit your playstyle, from a build that focuses on close range combat and mobility, or a build that emphasizes firepower to wipe out swarms of enemies at once. So that is sort of top level the initial summary, the synopsis. It's also worth mentioning that, while this of course is more of a leak, more of a rumor, whenever this kind of stuff does the rounds, I always say, take it with a pinch of salt until you actually see it confirmed. However, it is worth noting, going way back to 2017, there was an interview with IGN and Hidetaki Miyazaki, and he confirmed at the time that an Armored Core game was already in development, alongside two other titles, which of course we now know to be Sekiro, Shadow Die Twice, and also the VR game The Crane, both of which were unannounced at the time. It's also worth noting, in 2017, sci-fi writer Ty Frank, half of the writing team that publishes the Expanse novels, under the pen names James S.A. Corey, said that he had worked with FromSoftware on a secret project. And of course, given FromSoftware's notable collaboration with George R.R. Martin for Elden Ring, a similar partnership for Armored Core would make sense. And the Expanse is hella cool, so if they're bringing that kind of narrative aspect to Armored Core, I'd be interested to see where that goes. Diving back to the post for a second, again, while I'm not going to actually show you the screenshots, it is worth calling out a few of the things that we got to see. There appear to be more snowy areas. We sort of see a player character in the air firing down the street with vehicles below. There's sort of this smoke-filled aerial shot with the enemy in the distance. There's a sort of a darker grey-green toned area with sort of a lot of gunfire and combat happening everywhere. We see a couple of sort of boss battle style shots where a couple of mechs are sort of going toe-to-toe in close range combat. There also appear to be 4 more sort of distinct boss shots where you kind of get this overwhelming scale of these huge enemies that you'll be fighting, which again looks pretty exciting. And outside of that, we sort of see some more open world like environmental shots with the player sort of flying around, things like that. It's kind of hard to sort of make them out because they are heavily watermarked, or they just have this like nasty scratchy thing through them. So you can't see things in too great a detail. And there's of course also a few little concept pieces which are looking very cool. Basically, it looks exciting and I can't wait to find out more. Hopefully it's one of those things maybe they speak about this year. I imagine once Elden Ring is out the door, they can then start talking about the next project. It wouldn't really make sense to start talking about it now when Elden Ring is just around the corner. So maybe it's something they talk about at E3 later on this year. Honestly, we don't yet know. But for the time being, that's pretty much it. That's a little rundown on what we currently know on the next Armored Core 6, whatever you want to call it. That is what we have. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if this gets you excited, and don't forget to keep it locked because as and when we do find out more, I'll be sure to bring you guys the updates on the channel. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to catch more from us, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our latest uploads. And if you want somewhere to hang out, play games, or chat all things from games to anime, food to fitness, consider joining the HyperX Gaming Discord.